This might not be the product unboxing from Clix that we're all really waiting for, but I think it's going to have to do. This is the Clix Power Keyboard, a Bluetooth keyboard with built-in power. It's got that MagSafe ring on the back so it can snap onto the back of your device. And this thing was announced at the same time as the Clix Communicator. So of course I went ahead and pre-ordered one of these and one of those. This is actually the first Clix device that I will have used. So it connects to phones, tablets, and TVs over Bluetooth, wirelessly charge any MagSafe or Qi 2 compatible device, premium typing experience, 2300 milliamp hour battery, backlit keys, pair with up to 9 devices. That's actually maybe going to be pretty useful because I do see myself maybe not having this thing connected to one phone at all times, maybe just sort of acting as like a portable Bluetooth keyboard that you can kind of hold and quickly type something out with. I think I've seen that being kind of demoed as the use case in some other stuff. So I'm kind of curious to see if that's how I end up using this thing. Okay, let me first off just say this, and this instantly tells me I doubt this thing is going to be attached to my phone in a full-time basis. This thing is heavy. This is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank from Ugreen, and they are quite similar in terms of weight. Let me get this peel off of here real quick, and that's the first thing I want to do. I want to weigh this thing and see how it stacks up. All right, so let's see what this thing actually weighs. 184 grams. Wow, okay, yeah, that's heavy. Let's swap this thing out for my battery bank. See how close I was. 212. It is not that much lighter than having a full battery bank on the back of your phone. So yeah, this is a lot of weight that's going to be added to your device. You can get a look at the keys themselves here, and I'm kind of curious. This is my 3D print of the Clix Communicator. How do these compare? It looks like it is slightly more narrow, and the keys are definitely smaller than what you have on the Clix Communicator. You should be able to hear. We have their Clix key, maybe a microphone key that can control the backlight as well. On the back side, just the Clix logo and sort of a texturized thing going on, so maybe to give you a little bit of grip. And this is obviously where it's going to attach to your phone. But check this out. Let's see how much effort it takes to extend this thing, because that is... Okay, there we go. So that's important because it allows the keyboard to potentially kind of hide away. And there's a couple of different heights. There's like a short height and a long height. So the idea here would be like, here's my Pixel 10 Pro Fold. We're going to snap onto the back of it. And now you have this kind of behemoth on the back of your phone. And then if you want to type something, you can sort of click this thing down and you have a keyboard with which to type. And I kind of thought it was going to fall off, but it's actually on there pretty good. Yeah, that's actually... Can I even shake it off there? I don't know if I even can. That is actually on there way better than I thought it was going to. Maybe you could turn it sideways and do it like this and have almost like an LG Wing situation. Or of course, you could just sort of sit there and type on it with it not even attached. And like I said, when it is attached to the device, it is going to be charging. Now, unfortunately, my thin-born case for my Moto Razr Fold is not in yet, so I don't have a good way to attach this, although it kind of just wanted to attach on its own just because there's something, I guess, metal in there, or magnetic in there that's close enough. So you can kind of see what this might be like. It's going to stick out from the bottom a little bit, kind of regardless, and you're going to need to do like the full second click to get to the keyboard on a device like this. But nonetheless, I'm still going to pair it to this device. So I think on the bottom is where your USB-C charging port is, as well as the power button. So we're going to press and hold this, and we have a little LED down here, and it's flashing blue, which should mean we can pair it to our device. And I can see power keyboard right there. We're paired, and that should be pretty much all there is to it. So at that point, I should be able to just type. And that is working really quite well. Maybe it's my experience with the Unihertz Titan 2 Elite, which, by the way, this is almost a dead ringer for in terms of size, thickness, and probably weight as well. That's actually crazy. But that felt very, very natural and very, very comfortable. Can I do control and then these arrows? Symbol key, and then you have your arrows. Of course, that makes so much more sense. Duh. I really like how they are handling pairing to multiple devices. It's really, really simple. So you've got your little power button down here, and all you have to do is press that, and while you're pressing it, press on one of the number keys in the dedicated number row. So we'll do power and 3, and you'll start blinking, and you're now pairing on that channel. If I want to go back to my Razer Fold that's on channel 1, power and 1, and it will connect. It's solid blue, and I can see on my phone down here, it is now connected. That is really smart. But let me just tell you, on this device here, on the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, this is so much weight. This is so heavy. You absolutely can type with it, though, but that is a little bit more difficult than what it was before when I was just sort of holding the thing. Here's a question. Could you do it like this? And the answer seems to be yes. I mean, like I've kind of shown you, it's very, very secure. You could absolutely do this, but man, you want to talk about top heavy. That is pretty darn top heavy. I want to take a quick look at the application, though. This is back on my Razer Fold, and you can see that the backlight here is controllable. So we will just sort of press a button, and you should be able to see, maybe if I shield it a little bit, that backlight has come on. And you can change how bright you want it to be. You can also change the timeout. Can you set it to just be always on? No, it looks like 2 seconds or up to 60. We have some other toggles here, so caps lock, symbol lock, and cursor mode. So basically, if you double tap or double click the shift key, you go into a caps lock mode. Same thing for the symbol key. What about cursor mode? Sim plus meta to enter cursor mode. So that's your meta key. So if you do symbol plus meta, you enter a mode where WASD is just a directional cursor. I wonder if you could use this as like a game controller for like an emulator. I bet you could. So wireless charging can be turned off or on right here in your settings, or you can do the clicks key plus the symbol key to turn it on just sort of remotely. And I like that you can reserve power. So you can say that, hey, we want to make sure this thing's going to be usable as a keyboard. So let's make sure that we don't use the last 30% or something like that. There's an idle timeout as well. This is all very good. And there are a ton of different shortcuts on this thing too. Your number row here can be just a bunch of different shortcuts. You can see your options here for different sorts of functions you can have appended to that. Then there's a whole shortcuts section, and these appear to be using that meta key to do all kinds of different things. So like the meta key plus N is going to show me my notifications. Or we can do show all apps or show recent apps, which is Alt plus the little clicks key, which I guess is also Tab. I'm kind of curious about the clicks key because the meta key is doing what I thought the clicks key was going to be doing. So again, I'm a little bit confused about what it's actually doing. All these shortcuts are using the meta key. So meta plus B to open up your browser or to open up music, maps, whatever it might be. And these are going to open up your default apps. So like if I do meta plus B, it's going to open up my web browser, which is Vivaldi. Whatever browser you're using, that's what's going to happen. Let's do meta plus clicks. That'll take me into my recents, and I can go back into this application. But there's more. We can do meta plus A to trigger Gemini. And does this actually go straight into... No, that went into my calculator. Did I do something wrong there? Meta A. Meta A. That's definitely not Gemini. Although the little microphone button, that is triggering Gemini for whatever reason, so I'm not really sure what to make of that. We have shortcuts inside things, like inside your browser. Let's go back, let's go Meta B, and we're going to do Control T, Control W, like you can do the things you would do with a control button. Talked about how much I like that on my Titan 2. I like it here as well. So from here, what I'm going to do is wait for my Thinborn case with the magnetic ring on the back to be delivered so that I can properly attach this thing to the back of it. And I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to actually just kind of carry this thing with me and see how often it's useful. And then from there, we're going to spend some time pairing it to other things. Maybe I'll pair it to my Android TV box. When I need to type something, I might try using this thing instead. I've got a VR headset. Maybe I'll give that a go. Also, we're gonna try this out in a lot of different ways. I also do intend to kind of try using it as like a workspace type thing, like maybe setting this thing up on a stand and then using this as my keyboard. Will I need a mouse, or do I just reach out and touch the thing and then type with this? How would that work? There's a lot of ground to cover. I will tell you, my assumption is that this is probably not going to happen particularly often, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's something where I'm going to have moments where I'm going to pull this. I just hit my phone on my table. I'm going to pull this out of my pocket. I'm going to pull this out of another pocket, slap it on there, turn it sideways. I almost turned into The Rock from the late 1990s. If you were watching wrestling at that point, you know where my brain went. I'm going to turn it sideways and I'm going to type out something, or, you know, whatever it might be. Maybe I'm going to open it up and type out something and then take it apart and put it away. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go because I've never had anything quite like this device before. So it would be foolish of me to render any kind of a judgment without probably spending a week or longer with it. So that's what's going to happen next, guys. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on that upcoming content. I'll see you in that content. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.